Who you listening to? That's what we're talking about today. Who you listening to? Okay. And we can be honest. We definitely can be honest, guys. Some people are gatekeepers when it comes to just music and content in general. But at the end of the day, it's really not anything we should gatekeep. And the reason why I say that is because so everybody has access to the same things. Okay, we got access to the same thing. So with that being said, to gatekeepers like I don't know, like guys, you can do way better than that. Okay, but who are you listening to? Now it doesn't matter whenever you watch this live. You can leave your answers in the comment section. There's no right or wrong answer with this. But it is a reason why I'm talking about this subject. Okay? It's a reason why, okay? The reason why I'm talking about who are you listening to is because it has everything to do with values and what we represent, what we believe in. Okay? Some people believe in morals, some people believe in ethics, so forth and so on. What do you believe in? Okay? What do you believe in? This right here is definitely serious. It's definitely serious because what we listen to can be a big dictator on how we move in life throughout the day. Okay? So let's just think about that, guys. Let me see. Yeah, so I didn't really realize that until I was older that what we listen to is a big dictator of how we function in society, how we how we move, how we get influenced. It's big, guys, and it's very important. It's very important. So let me tell you a story. So when I was 10, maybe 12 years old, Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator, he alright. Um, he's definitely a creative artist. Definitely a creative artist, but um, I ain't gonna lie. I listen to, if anything, the most I listen to myself when it comes to artistry, when it comes to music. I'm a musician, but I definitely have heard of Tyler Creator. He's very creative, like I keep saying, with his lyrics. But moving on, let me tell you about a story about why it's very important to be mindful of who you listen to. So I think I was either 10, I had to be 10. I had to be 10 years old. Yeah, I was even 9 or 10. So I think I was 10 years old, and my mom had bought me and my sisters some. She bought us a Walkman, and so you could play CDs in it. Was it a Walkman first? No, it was a tape player. It was a tape player. I think it was was a tape. I don't know. It was one of the two. It was a Walkman that had a radio on there, and you could play CDs. And the only thing we could listen to at the time was like gospel music, and my parents like would get us like, shoot, they would get me like gospel rap. And the gospel rap back then, it was alright. It wasn't really that good like it is now. So I really didn't really want to listen to it like that, but I did because I just wanted to listen to some music. Make a long story short, I started listening to the radio station, and after a certain time, the radio station would play explicit music. They would play explicit music, man. All right. So, make a long story short, like 12, after I think 12 o'clock, they would play all explicit songs, R&B and rap. So I would keep the rate out. First of all, I would make sure I always had batteries, and I would keep the radio on with my earphones on. My parents didn't know that, and honestly, I didn't know what it was doing to me until my parents they knew they saw a difference in my behavior. Now my grades they were still good, but it was just my behavior. I started having like a really disrespectful attitude and talking back to my mama and in class, talking back to my teachers. So my dad, he wanted to. First of all, he never did agree with giving us like CD players. He told my mom he did not want to do that, and I didn't find that out until probably about like 3 4 weeks ago when my mama told me. But my mom wanted us to, I don't know. Anyway, make a long story short. So my dad, he used to be a police officer for over 10 years. He saw me one day. I was asleep. I had the headphones on my ears. He took it and he was listening to what I was listening to. He never woke me up, but that next day I looked around. I didn't have my stuff. I'm like, yo, where's my stuff? He took it. He brought me in his office. He was like, Randolph, you've been listening to this every single night. How long you been listening to it? I said probably like a month and whatever like that. I'll never forget. I was so in trouble. He told me not to listen to it anymore, and I didn't understand why, but I understand now. Like listening to the wrong music can change your whole entire attitude. It can change the way that you talk to people and the way that you interact with people. Like you have to be very conscious of what you put into your mind, okay? What you feed your mind. And I was feeding my mind nothing but filth and trash, right? And in return, me feeding my mind all of that filth and trash, I was saying everything that I was listening to. Now, maybe I wasn't saying it to my parents, but I still had an attitude with my mom, and I was disrespecting her by talking back to her. And I'll never forget, I had got slapped one day really hard by my mom because I was just talking back. Yeah, I kept talking back, and I never did that again after that. But of course, my parents still let me listen to music because I was getting older now. Um, but I'll never forget that. And that's the reason why I proposed this question. What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Because that has a big, big, big influence on how your life will be lived, how you're living life, especially if you cannot separate entertainment from reality. Everything that I was listening to, I thought was real, and I wanted to emulate and imitate everything that I heard and saw on the music videos and through listening to the songs. All right. So I tell everybody, be very careful who you're listening to, and it's a options. It's options. It's a lot of options these days, and be honest with you, it's very overwhelming. So if you love gospel, if you love motivation, if you love trap music, it's a lot of people who do that, guys. And you don't have to just box yourself in. If you just a connoisseur of music and you just love new sounds and new lyrics and different points of views. There's nothing wrong with just browsing and just listening to an array of different music and artists, right? Me personally, I try not to listen to too many people because I know that has a big influence on my music and I want to be original. So I try to box myself inside of my own little space and think about different lyrics and different ways on how I can be different, but at the same time influence people. All right. Brandy, welcome to the chat. Noah, welcome to the chat. And we're just talking about who do you listen to? Who are you listening to? Or what are you listening to? This is what we're talking about today. All right. Now, I'm not about to be long. I'm literally about to sum this up. Um, but for all my parents who are in your children's life, and I hope there's more than, I hope there's more people that's in their children's life than not. Um, Make sure you're monitoring whatever they're listening to. Make sure you're monitoring, and make sure that you understand what they're listening to, and y'all have a sit down. Okay, you want to talk with them, and whenever you're talking with your children, you want to make sure that they understand what they're listening to, and make sure that they understand whatever they're listening to is entertainment and not take it seriously. X Snake, you say you listen to 6 7. Okay, cool. That's what's up. But yeah, be very careful what you're listening to. And what's another thing I wanted to say? Um, be very careful what you're listening to, and also make sure that you are in tune with what's going on in the world. I don't really want to give a percentage, but a large amount of people listen to music every single day. So you never know who you're coming in contact with. But you definitely want to make sure that you are staying abreast and staying current with what's what's going on in the world when it comes to music. All right, that way you're not behind. You wanted to say 6 7. Okay, Snake. If that's how you want to say, if that's what you want to say. But until the next time, make sure you like, share, subscribe so you can stay notified. There's no right or wrong answers whenever you leave a comment. Another thing too, if you're a connoisseur of music, you love new music, you love new sounds, take a listen to my new album, my newest album. It's called Holy Smoke. And guys, this is probably one of the best gospel albums that you will hear or that you've ever heard in years. Okay. And I'm just going to be all the way transparent with you. I dropped it on Halloween, October 31st, and people been liking it so far. So I subbed and like, appreciate it, Snake. Um, the link is in the description. And this right here, I just released that. Okay. And all these albums, it's the same thing. This is the edited version. This is the explicit version. And that's just the snippet version. But guys, Holy Smoke Volume 1, this is what you need to be listening to. I have a lot of things in store. I have some interviews ahead of time. Well, I ain't going to say ahead of time, but ahead of me. So until the next time, guys, make sure that you like, share, subscribe so you can stay notified. And yeah, be careful what you're listening to. And again too, right? If you do decide to listen to my album, let me know the songs that you like and the songs that you dislike. Let me know what you liked about the album, what you disliked about the album. Okay? Because I want to become better and I want to make sure that I'm giving my listeners a better product every time I'm release music. Okay? Till next time, guys. I'm out.